Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in your day. The why here is find a pattern. Okay, this is a great problem-solving strategy. And not just for math, but like life in general. And not to be too crude or loose with this, but say you have an acquaintance or a friend or someone in between, and every time you try and hang out with this person, they're busy, or you text this person, they don't text back, or I don't know, you can never just seem to get together. And the pattern would say this person is non-responsive to my inquiries. So might not want to be someone you want to invest a lot of time in. Okay? That's just find a pattern, problem solving. That's math really, and it has applications to everything. Okay? Again, you're going to have these. These are coming if you don't already have them. So you better work on this. That'll help you in life. Alright? So this is a famous concept. This is how it was taught to me. And I struggled with this in high school, this concept, and then I broke it down more like this, probably the second time I did it. Do whatever you need to do. So this is sine. If you just remember SOHCAHTOA, you remember all of them. Sine is OH is opposite over hypotenuse, AH is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tan is opposite over adjacent. Well, how do we know what's opposite, what is adjacent, what hypotenuse is? Well, we should know, and I'm looking at this guy now, what the hypotenuse is. The hypotenuse is opposite this right. So that's always going to be the hypotenuse for this triangle. Now the adjacent and the opposite will depend on what angle. So I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3 because they're all dealing with angle M. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little angle sign on M. So a couple different ways to think about it. Here's how I think about it. I usually identify opposite first because opposite is opposite the angle. So the opposite angle is, the opposite side is here. The adjacent side, adjacent means next to. So next to is it next to? Does it share a side with M? Sure, it does. And the way you tell the difference between adjacent and hypotenuse is one's the hypotenuse and one's not. Adjacent is not the hypotenuse, but it's still right next to the angle. Alright, so now we know those things. Now we're just going to fill it in and actually just leave it as a fraction of 1, and then we'll get a decimal approximation here later. Probably do that at the end if there's time. Really, it's just punching in the calculator. So sine is O over H. O is 28. H is 53. That's it. Walk away. Cosine. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. A over H, or AH. So adjacent is 45. And then tangent is OA. 28 over 45. That's it. Can we reduce those? Pretty sure 53 is prime. There might be something that goes into it. But nothing I can think of at the top of the head that reduces that. So to get the decimal approximation, you just plug it in. And you're rounding to the nearest thousandth, which is 3 decimal places. So I just plug it in. 28 divided by 53.528. .45 divided by 53.849. 28 over 45.622. There you go. That is how you do those trig ratios. Let's look at it again. Down here, 10, 11, and 12. So B is our angle. There's our angle. Going to hit the hypotenuse first. The hypotenuse is definitely 65 because it's across on the right. The opposite angle, the opposite, I keep saying that. Opposite side from B is 25, so that's going to be O. And then the adjacent side is 6. So sine is OH. So 25 over 65. Pretty sure 5 goes into each of those. So 5 and 13. 13 is prime. Cosine is CAH. Adjacent is 60. 5 goes into those. We get 12 over 13. And then tangent is OA. (25 over 60), which is 5 over 12. 5 doesn't go into 12. 5 is prime. Decimal approximations, I'll do one, but I'm not gonna, you guys can do this. 5 over 13, 0.38, and round that to a 5. 0.385. 0.385, and I'll let you do the rest of that. Trig ratios. Write the trig ratios based on what we have happening here. So if I was doing that, S over R, got S over R here. So what trig ratio would work there? Well, if I look at, let's say that's the angle. That's opposite. That's adjacent because that would be hypotenuse. So to me this looks like S looks like O over A. Well, what ratio is that? If we look on top, it's TOA, that's tangent. So I'd say that's tangent of S. And then if I was doing the last one, write two trig ratios for R over T. So I'm gonna redraw this because it can get messy in a hurry. So we've got R and T. So if we looked at S again, to me that's going to be A and that's going to be H. So AH is CAH is cosine. So cosine of S. And then we need one more. Well, let's look at R here. So if I'm looking at R, H is still H, but now this is going to be, now it's going to be an O. O over H is sine. So sine of R. So you can use two different trig functions to get the same thing. Basically is where that's going. And yeah, there's some problem solving, there's finding a pattern, there's labeling things, there's doing a little math, but a little crunching actually, but really we're just finding patterns, identifying stuff, put it where it needs to go, which is a important life skill. Help keep you organized, get stuff done. Thank you for your time. Please enjoy the rest of your day and be well.